years, and this place is so special to me. I've wanted to win here so bad. We brought some good cars. I'm out of breath from celebrating more than driving. Real emotional win. This team on pit road was great, and Steve and the guys just did a good job all day. They gave me a great shot at it there with the call at the end and take tires. I can't believe we won here. This means so much to all of us. It's just really emotional.
11 top fives before this. Junior, back in 2004, you were not a member of Hendrick Motorsports, and you lost some friends that day, not as a member of the team. What was your looking back to that day, and then your understanding as you became a Hendrick driver, what it would mean to win here?
Just wanted to support Hendrick Motorsports during that time. I got everybody in the garage at that time was wearing Hendrick hats. The whole sport came together. I lost my daddy a long time ago, and I know how hard that is. I can't imagine losing the magnitude of people that Rick lost. My heart goes out to him during this weekend, and I love that his cars are good here and give him a victory. And so this honors them. Just real proud to be able to win at Martinsville in a Hendrick car. They always win here.
After last week, Junior, having to say goodbye to a championship run this year after such a great season, what does it mean to say hello to victory lane?
I could care less about all the points by now. We love winning races. Winning races is the best thing. I want to thank National Guard, Diet Mountain Dew, Kelly Blue Book, Chevy and Sprint, obviously Nationwide coming on next year. All my sponsors. Ain't worried about the points no more. Trying to get trophies. I wanted that grandfather clock ever since I was a little boy, and I got it today. My team, we all came together and made it happen. I couldn't be prouder. We're going to drink a lot of beer tonight. That's what's going to happen.
Welcome to NASCAST 500, the only NASCAR podcast where we can say fuck you to Brian France and get away with it. I'm Elizabeth Moxley, and I'm joined by
Phil Matthew.
Okay, hey Bill. Apparently Adam's not on yet, so we'll just go ahead without him.
All right.
Let's see, we're Martinsville. With the exception of the big crash, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick having that big wreck.
Okay, I just got to add. Sorry about that. I just got a message from Adam. He had to start restart his Skype. So go ahead and continue.
Yeah. So, I mean, outside of the Kenseth Harvick incident, which is probably going to follow all the way till Phoenix, it may not come up this weekend at Texas because it's one of the fastest tracks they run at. But I figured that's going to follow, and it's probably going to affect the overall look of the final race, because I figured Kevin Harvick, he's already having he had a win, but he's also had rough time during the chase and in general closing the deal, and having this finish is not going to help his cause. Also with Bradley having an axle problem, it's basically put him and Kevin in a winner go home situation. Just like Brad, Jimmy, and Junebug had in the prior round, while Brad came through, the other two didn't. The race for me, I wasn't able to partake in the race. I was helping my cousin move into his new apartment.
I think that's actually kind of that's more entertaining than the race itself, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, you consider that I understand it was the Hendrick 10-year anniversary of the plane crash that took away most of the Fat Felon's family. When you look at the lap leaders, Matt Kenseth, what is it? I'm trying to check. Yeah, Pizza Face led 60 laps. Denny Hamlin led 68, but the vast majority of the laps were led by by Hendrick run cars or Hendrick Motorsports affiliated. What is it? 1/3, over 200, nearly 200 laps, or over 200 laps of the race were led by Jeff Gordon and Junebug. Once Adam comes on and when we get into the full explanation, I'll bring my Junior out, my full emphasis. Jamie McMurray started on pole and slid down to where he usually does 16th or whatever. And I mean, at the end of the day, Junebug winning the race might not be a good thing for Jeff Gordon because he needed that win probably to go and lock in. I figure he will make the Final Four for Junebug. I said it on one of the pages, I think, keeping track of the NASCAR media or whatever.
Yeah. Hello? Oh, come on. Hello? Okay, I guessed.
Oh. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
It randomly cut out there, but the Earnhardt's not going to do anything next year, so let him have his time, let him have his wins. Who really gives a fuck? We knew that, you know, if we're going to talk about who was more likely to have a bought win, I figured the Hendrick one happening on Sunday was more than what happened on Saturday, even though a buddy of mine on one of the pages disagrees. I mean, a lot of guys led, but it doesn't really look like there was anything of great significance that I missed. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to a cookie cutter next week. It's going to suck, so we can go into more detail.
Okay. Adam, you here?
Yep.
Okay, we just went over Martinsville. I said it was a piece of shit.
You want to know what the funny thing is that for the first time in a long time I didn't watch the race. Last time I didn't watch any lap of the race was at Kansas, and Pizza Face took the checker flag. There was a good reason for not watching Martinsville. I was at my cousin's, and he didn't have ESPN, so I kept up with the race on my phone with the NASCAR app. And I woke up and I saw Gordon was leading. I'm like, okay, it's cool. Gordon's leading, no problem there. I looked Jimmy Johnson 21 laps down. I'm like, oh, this is just gets even better. First he misses the chase, then he's running like shit at one of his best racetracks. This is awesome. Then I looked and I saw all these things. Larson and Ambrose got into it. I found out from my friend Tim, who wasn't even watching the race at the time, and he said Ambrose and Larson got into it. I'm like, holy shit. And then I was looking through the top 10, and I looked and saw Stewart in fourth. I'm like, oh, what? Stewart actually running for a race? What is this, 2011? Holy shit. But, you know, from what I've read, a lot of the people thought it was kind of a meh Martinsville race. The first time in a long time that Jimmy Johnson didn't lead barely anything, and I didn't even get to watch it. Probably next year, when I do watch Martinsville, I'll probably win. That's just my luck when it comes to Martinsville. I was catching up the last few laps on my phone. I was like, oh my god, Stewart's going to win this? Holy shit. And then I started looking, and then about 12 to go, there was caution. I'm like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? A caution coming out? Like okay, Stewart's done. And I was right. And of all people, to get around and take the one spot, it would be Junior. Fucking Junior. Like, when you go to Martinsville, that's not one of the names you pick. You pick Johnson or Gordon or anybody that isn't Junior, because Junior's never won in Martinsville. He's never been a contender for Martinsville. I mean, if you just think about, like, I don't know, the 2008 fall race, yeah, he finished second, but really didn't have a shot to win that race. And then you look in 2011 in the spring race, he was leading with 5 to go, and Harvick just caught it and beat his ass. I was really surprised by it, honestly. I wanted Gordon to win because Gordon's one of my favorite drivers. Plus, that's one of his best racetracks. He won there last year. His only win that year. But, you know, I don't mind Junior winning, but, you know, I just wish it could have been someone better. Considering that we're going to the Final Four at Homestead, and there is no Final Four because the last races are supposed to be won by chase drivers, and there wasn't a chase driver that won Martinsville. So I don't know how this is going to work out in Texas, Phoenix, and Homestead, how that's going to work out since Junior won at Martinsville. But, you know, the inbreeding didn't begin last week at Talladega, but it definitely carried on into Martinsville.
Here's my question. Do you think the Dale Jr. fans would use their Dale Jr. call to tell him where the victory lane is?
Probably. I mean, you know, half the Junior fans don't even know how to spell their boy's last name right.
Even I cannot spell his last name, and I'm not.
Yeah. Most people just spell it EARNHART and leave out the D at the end. And I'm like, and you guys claim to be big fans of Dale Jr. Give me a fucking break.
All right, I have to do this since Adam is on. Junior! Oh, good granny, Junior's won at Martinsville, and only Inbreeding's got him again. He missed a chase, and now he brought it all back, and all his fans get to go and fuck each other. Go and watch Dancing with the Stars and watch MW50 win it, being the Sanjaya of Dancing with the Stars. But
we'll go over that a little bit later. But let's go down the list. Goonyer, Gordon, No Neck, Mr. Messiah, Pizza Face, Mike Kenseth, Clint Boyer, Paperboy, AJ Allmendinger, and Dave Reagan.
The one I'm really surprised about that top 10 is David Reagan actually finishing in the top 10 in the Wendell Scott tribute car. And just the day before, Darrell Wallace Jr. won in a Wendell Scott themed truck, which was awesome because I'm a big Darrell Wallace Jr. fan. I didn't even get to watch the race either, but I heard that Bubba won, and that was great. But David Reagan finishing 10th, like, what the hell? Like, holy shit, this is wow. Like, I didn't expect that. And another thing I'm kind of surprised at is that I didn't really see Denny Hamlin do much in the race because, you know, this is one of Denny's best tracks, and he's in the 8 going for the championship. If he were to win that race, he probably would have been one of the final 4 to make it, which would have been cool because I'm a Hamlin fan. But that's another thing I found really surprising is that Denny didn't do much at Martinsville, nor did any of the Joe Gibbs drivers for that matter. Matt Kenseth didn't do anything. Kryle didn't do shit. Of course, he's not even competing for the championship, but even if he was, he wouldn't do shit. Really surprised that Brad had another shitty run, and he's nearly dead last in this elimination run, which sucks because unless if he wins at Texas or Phoenix, he's not going to compete for the championship. I was also surprised that we saw Tony Stewart finishing inside anything other than 15th on back. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big Stewart fan, but I'm not going to be the only one in saying that this is just like a surprise. I mean, if you were to look back 3 years ago and think to yourself, do you think Tony Stewart would ever run really like shit? And most people would be like, no, he's going forever. And then you look now, of course, that's not the case. Really wanted, in that restart order, I really wanted Stewart to win because he deserves it after all the bullshit he's been through with the fucking Ward ordeal, and then plus still dealing with his injury from last year catching up to him in the early part of this year. But, you know, the only thing that really chaps my ass about all this is that Gordon failed to win because of his teammate getting around him, the quote-unquote fan favorite. Like I said, I have nothing against Dale Jr. I have nothing against his team or anything like that, but the only thing that kind of irks me is that not only the fact that he's not a chase driver, but the fact that, you know, his fans are just like practically prematurely ejaculating after they found out he won. I was reading all the posts, I'm like, oh, the Junior, oh my god, the Junior. I'm like, okay, cool, Junior won. Okay, that's cool. It's not like me going ape shit when Gordon wins or Brad wins now. You know, that's when I'm really happy is when Brad or Gordon wins. But seeing Junior win, it's like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of glad I didn't watch that race. So from what it's out of, it sounded like a boring bunch of shit. Because the March race really wasn't that big of a deal either. I mean, if you could talk about the Brad and Kurt incident, plus Kurt beating Johnson's ass, winning that was a fucking great finish. That finish was awesome. But seeing Junior win was not really living up to my expectations of awesome.
Going on what Adam was saying, I mean, look, whatever. It's well known in these circles and in general, my general feelings on Junebug. I really don't care. Whatever. I didn't see the race. I found it funny that you guys posted on there. Oh, I'm gonna lose my shit, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I would, but I didn't watch.
I had no idea you were helping your cousin out. So
yeah,
whatever.
So that was cool. I was like, yeah, I guess I should, but I really don't care because it doesn't matter. The fact that I felt bad about was I watched 3 laps of the race. I watched the last 3 laps on a video on National Speed Sport News earlier this morning, and watching that and seeing who Tony was around on that restart, if any of them had any talent or skill, they could have probably wrecked Junebug, they could have taken out somebody, and Tony would have probably won the race. But I'll say this: Tony has had a brutal year. He's been hurt. The last couple of years have probably been the 2 worst years of his career out of the way. His life has changed forever because of what has happened. In terms of him running up there, I mean, he led 18 laps, which is probably the most laps he's led in any race all year, outside of when he started on pole at Texas. But for him to qualify 4th and actually generally stay up there is a minor miracle considering Chad Johnston sucks. I was reading one of these people on that page I was talking about earlier. She's like, she's a no-neck fan, and she got offended because I called Newman no-neck, and then another person's like, oh, Tony took Chad Johnston away from Martin Truex. It's like, who the fuck cares about Martin Truex? That's number 1. Number 2, Chad Johnston didn't get taken away by Tony Stewart. MW55 went and tried to fix the chase last year by getting 2 cars in, by having Clint Boyer scratch his itch. And then next thing you know, Napa disappeared, Martin Truex had nowhere to go, and Chad Johnston didn't have a job. The fact that Tony Stewart picked him up was because he should have taken Childers, but he wanted to give Kevin Harvick the better crew chief. And for some reason, he has his hang-up about getting the old man Tony Gibson as his crew chief, which he should have had since
which, by the way, Tony Gibson's now going with Kurt Busch, and Danikan's going with Daniel Knaus, which I feel sorry for Daniel as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel...
you feel bad for anybody that asks a crew chief with that fucking vanilla fucking... I can't even describe how
that C-word. That freaking C-word that she is, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Daniel Knaus may have talent and eventually may be a decent crew chief. It just won't be with Stewart-Haas Racing because he got demoted. And, I mean, saying it's a promotion for the old man to go with Kurt Busch, I mean, he had a crew chief, Ryan Newman. So that shows how low he had to be. And then he went even lower with Pucomania. Kurt Busch has been shit all year outside of that 1 win and maybe about 3 other races. And that's what Gene Haas wanted. He wanted to have his car up front. Of course, his car runs where it usually ran when he had Haas automation on it before Tony bought half the team, in the back. And so that's whatever. I mean, that's a bummer, that smoke. I mean, he actually had a chance for once. Kenseth's got a target on his back. No matter how much he hates Bucky, freaking Kevin's going to wreck him and probably cost himself a chance at the championship, and Kenseth, which will probably help Pizza Face and No Neck. Denny Hamlin, who cares? Allmendinger is ahead of 3 Hendrick cars right now in the points. AJ Allmendinger in a 1-car team owned partly by a jackass is ahead of 3 Hendrick cars. The guy is a wheelman. I give the guy credit. All the stuff he's went through, he's a cool dude. I want to drink what he's drinking. I'll even start taking some Adderall too if it makes me go and act like AJ Allmendinger. If I could take Adderall and start driving like AJ Allmendinger, I'll start doing that right now. And then David Reagan. I mean, on Adam's point about David Reagan, they did strategy. That's how Richard was there. That's how Allgaier was there. That was some of those scrubs that were around. I mean, Cole Witt got an 18th place finish. That's probably one of his best finishes of the whole year. There was a lot of strategy there at the end. And I was saying to a guy on NBS Racing Blog who said that NASCAR bought Bubba's win, I'm like, you want to show me somebody buying a win? Let David Reagan go and win on Sunday. Then I'll tell you that it was a bought win. Because that would be so obvious, because David Reagan's absolute shit outside of Talladega and Daytona.
No, this race was a bought win because they had to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Hendricks family's death.
Yeah,
no, but I
have no sympathy. I have sympathy for the family, but I have no sympathy for that fat felon.
I mean, it was a fix. If you want to go and say both races were a fix, the fact of the matter was I buy more of it happening on Sunday than it was on Saturday. But we'll go over Saturday's race in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I didn't miss anything. I'm going to be watching the USGP in football, and I'll watch some of the race of next week, and I probably won't miss shit with that either. I mean, at the end of the day, Gordon leads the points by 3 over No-Neck, 4 on Logano, 5 on Matt Kenseth. So 2 guys are in the top 4 with no wins, and then Denny Hamlin is also in that running. Carl Edwards, Keselowski, and Harvick right at the end. It's basically win or get in for those 3 guys, and there's only 2 races. So basically one of those guys is already eliminated. It's just which one of them. I figure Brad and Kevin win here in the next 2 weeks. I'll go out and say it right now, even though we're not doing picks. I figure Brad wins on Sunday at Texas because he needs to, and locks himself into the final. And then Harvick wins at Phoenix because that's one of his best tracks.
Okay, wow, Fox Fixed Sports, damn it, you guys, they're writing a lot of shitty articles lately.
They always write shitty articles. Have they ever wrote a good article? Because there's a such thing with fixed sports?
I know.
Or fixed in general?
Well, this, Fixed Sports article number 1, disappointed Dale Jr. to fans. I hate we're all going through this. And basically, he's just bitching about not being part of the chase. Who cares? Fixed Sports article number 2. Danica Patrick. Joey Logano must continue to prove he's sorry. Sorry, Danica, but Joey's going through a championship and you just suck. Fixed Sports article number 3. Are absences of Junior Jimmy from the next chase round bad for NASCAR? Answer is no. And finally, Fixed Sports article number 4. Danica upset after boyfriend misses race. Questions diversity program. She didn't. Who cares? I mean, she didn't go through diversity program because she said she didn't need it. You know what? Shut the fuck up, sweetheart.
You know what? I can't stand all these articles. They're just excuses to get all the big names in the paper. I mean, I say this every week when I see these articles posted by NASCAR on Fox. I mean, the fucking Danica article about trying to make Logano prove he's sorry. What the fuck Logano has to be sorry for? Number 1, Logano's been in this sport for 6 years, okay? Number 2, he's going for a championship, driving for Roger Penske. Number 3, you're not even in the top 20 in points. And what have you done that's so significant besides those lucky finishes at Daytona and Talladega and that surprising finish at Atlanta? Tell me, what have you done in your career that's so fucking important? Logano's gotten to victory lane, I don't know, 7 times in his career. How many wins have you got? Nothing. That's what I thought. You know, it's just, oh my god, he wrecked me. Oh my god, I really didn't see that coming. Oh my god, it's not like I'm wearing like shit or anything. You know, it's like, dude, you wanted to be in NASCAR. You got it, okay? Number 2, you wanted to run with the big dogs. Well, you can't really run with the big dogs except if it's at a plate track, where you get lucky and someone pushes you because they'll know they'll be in the mention somehow, hey, this guy helped Danica Patrick get an 11th place finish and tell it, ooh. And, you know, she's just a fucking joke. You know, the fact that she's still in NASCAR and still relevant is fucking amazing. The fact that she hasn't been kicked out yet and that half the fans that were her fans when she came in haven't just said, yeah, you can go suck Richard's dick, and we don't care. And then the whole getting mad because Ricky didn't qualify. Oh my god, that's gotta be the most vindictive piece of fucking shit I've ever read in my life, besides all those Jimmy articles. It's like, whoop-de-doo. So your boyfriend missed the race. Did you think Elton Sawyer got pissed off that Louise Mr. Bush race in the 90s or the vice versa. No, they dated, but you never saw that shit happening. And you look at all these other drivers that dated, they didn't see any problem with that. But Richard and Danica, oh my god, if Richard doesn't make the race, Danica's going to go ape shit on NASCAR. Like, what's NASCAR going to do? Are they going to purposely let Richard qualify for every race just so you'd be happy? Give me a fucking break. You need to just quit whining, drive your car like you're supposed to. Well, you're supposed to, but you really don't. And then the Junior Jimmy articles. What's Junior and Jimmy's absence like for the chase? It's awesome. We don't have to hear two of the sport's biggest fucking whiners and one of the sport's biggest overrated drivers of all time race for the championship and being mentioned in the news. Like I said, I don't hate Dale Jr. I'm just sick of all the fucking overrated bullshit I read on a daily basis and all the fucking, sympathy from his fucking fans. Like, I'm friends with a lot of Dale Jr. fans, and it's okay. They're Junior fans, and a lot of them aren't retarded and have Down syndrome or whatever. But I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for that. But I just had to say that. I know that was a little low, but I just had to say it. But the point is that I Junior, I'm tired of the Junior Nation shit. It's like, you can quit pretending that Dale Jr. is going to somewhat be like Dale Sr. one day. It's never going to happen. So quit drinking the Kool-Aid. And then Jimmy Johnson not being in the chase? Are you kidding me? That's like one of the best news I've read all year. Because number one, we all know, everyone knows how much we hate Jimmy and a bunch of other people who do. And to see that cheating piece of shit not in the chase, that's like one of the best things for NASCAR. I mean, if he didn't get eliminated, I guarantee you that motherfucker would have had a chance at Martinsville and actually would have ran probably decent and probably would have won. Because, I guess since he's not running for the championship, he decided to run like shit. Chad didn't give a shit. But the point is that Jimmy not being in the chase is great for NASCAR and its fans. Half the reason why none of these fans are watching anymore is because of Jimmy Johnson. Do you mean to tell me that everyone left NASCAR not because of Jimmy Johnson, but because of someone else? No. Like, 95% of the fans who watched before are gone from NASCAR now because of Jimmy Johnson. They don't want to see that motherfucker win 6 championships and tie Dale Sr. and Richard Petty. No one wants to see that. Only people that want to see that are the fucking Kool-Aid addicts. And then just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit article. It's like, Fox Sports at all into their articles. They're just like, oh, hey, we're going to put the Sweetie Taco in here and put Dale Jr. and Danica and Jimmy Johnson, and we're going to get views, and then we're going to get paid. Yeah, we're going to get money. That's basically all it is. They don't put any fucking emphasis at all. Same with TMZN. They don't do anything good with their articles. Their articles are fucking trash, just like Fox. It's the Fox kisses Danica's ass and Jimmy's ass, while ESPN just fixates on Jimmy and Junior. It's like, give me a fucking break. You're not here to point out the obvious. It's like, okay, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr. out in the chase, what we fucking do? We knew that after Talladega. We knew that it was going to happen because if Junior or Jimmy didn't win Talladega, they were out. They were not getting in. We knew that from the get-go. And we don't care that they're not in the chase. The only people that do care are their fans, which is surprising because I'm surprised people like that could support people like that. It's just fucking annoying. Like every time I read these articles, it's like I lose a little piece of my brain, and TMZN too. I don't think I found one decent NASCAR article that doesn't pertain to those assholes. I mean, give me a fucking break. I'm just tired of all this shit.
So I don't know. I'm supposed to follow that, but I'm gonna try. At the end of the day, I don't read most of the lane stories for a reason. For this reason, because most of the stuff they report is absolute crap. The fact that Junebug and missed the next round is, well, they didn't win a race. If they had won a race, or they could blame any number of things, which Hendrick Motorsports drivers do. And the page keeping an eye on the NASCAR media. Good page, cool people. Michael Sanders is a good admin. He's I think Elizabeth and I are both on that page. I mean, it's a cool page. It's funny. But there's some morons on that one that go and talk about. They do agree with us in terms of Junebug and Johnson and all the overhype. But there's all these idiots, the way they talk about it. It's like, look, at the end of the day, fans that are not intelligent, or dog fans, or both, they're not gonna be happy about not being in the chase. But in the end, who the hell cares? I mean, the chase is a joke. The chase has been a joke for 10 years. It's going to continue to be a joke. No matter what format they make it, it's always going to be a load of shit. The whole we're forcing a Game 7 moment, they're so desperate to have the 2011 finale all over again that they're going to do this 4-driver, winner-take-all thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be a mess. Whether Johnson or Earnhardt are in it doesn't make a freaking difference. In the end, they need to earn it. They didn't earn it. They had a chance to earn it. Brad did. In terms of Pukamania, I've never been. It was that. Basically was jacking off in the ABC booth, literally, like he was holding his schlong in his hand, one hand, and the other hand, how great Echo's hand. Like everything she was doing, like he was basically making in his hands, and that was a moment where it turned. Like when she ran well in the Indy 500 and really covered her, and when she flew Bobby Rahal to get that ride, and then she goes and gets it. That was when it turned. Because before that, I was like, whatever, she's a decent-looking woman. I had the FHM magazine, and race car aren't too bad. I mean, she doesn't have a body like Tanner or Joe or Milk and Donuts or whatever, but at the end of the day with her, who the hell? I don't understand why goes to a person runs that. Let her do something of value on a track that actually you need talent to drive that before you actually cover her. But the media that is around today, absolutely. The point is, I call it TMZN, but it's just in general. They call the way they report this sport is so mediocre, depressed as because I'm like, this is what I have to compete against. I have to compete against fluffy BS pieces and random drama. There's not real. And not what I went to school for, and I'm not trying to write fluff. I write real news. That's why I'm on. That's why I'm on here. Why we're on here with this show, because at the end of the day, this is the only place where we can actually tell the truth and really get away with it. Because you can't call friggin' Sirius Speedway the fun stretch or any of those crappy on Sirius NASCAR radio without getting scolded by some Kool-Aid drinker.
Okay, there's a funny article on the 48 team. Chad Knaus leaving the number 48 team. It just basically talks about if Chad decides to leave the 48 team, it's going to be his decision, not Johnson's, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I caught that article, and I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, this isn't going to happen. As much as we would love to see it happen, it's just one of those. It's like all those years that we heard one of the biggest route drivers is leaving routes and then they end up staying. Like in 2010 or 8, we heard that Carl Edwards was leaving routes, and he's like, yeah, we're going to change. And then they'll stay. It's not going to happen. As much as we would love to see Chad and Maury and all that bullshit, it's not going to happen. Because it's just an honor to get people surprised and be like, oh my god, is Chad really leaving the 48 team? Oh my god. You know what? So yeah, they've been together for 13 years. Do you want to think that they're going to break up right now, even though that they're not running for the championship? No. They're going to stay together. They're going to probably be together until Jimmy Johnson retires, more than likely. And if not, then at least for another couple more years. But, and it's like, well, it's not going to be my decision if he leaves. It's going to be his. First, it's not going to be. You don't want to leave. He's the one who practically gave you your championships, other than the Fat Felon and NASCAR for giving it to you. I mean, yeah, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose your. You don't want to have. You don't want to not being able to have your cake and eat it too. You still want to win that 7th championship to not only destroy Dale Sr. and Richard Petty's good name, but you also want to have all your retarded fans say #7, #7. It's like, no, fuck off. And it's not going to happen. Chad's never leaving Hendrick. The only time he has left is when he got suspended all those times for breaking the car. before the Black Shootout in 2006, getting suspended at Daytona, the C-Post in 2012, which is bullshit that now that I'm thinking about it, is that not only was the penalty reduced, but Chad didn't even get suspended for any of those fucking races. It's a little horseshit. The fact that they still play favorites on Chad Jimmy. It's just a little bullshit. But Chad's not leaving. If he does, it'll be a fucking miracle. It's just like when Lowe's announced last year that they weren't, or 2012, that they weren't going to be back with Jimmy in 2013, and they signed a contract extension for like 2 or 4 years or some shit like that. So Chad's staying. He's not going anywhere. He's probably going to stay till the end of 2016, 2017, 2018, and he won't be leaving anytime soon.
I mean, at the end of the day, Hendrick had the perfect combination once upon a time. That was Raymond and Jeffy. And he let two powerful people go and figure out a way to napalm that whole entire relationship. Ray Evernham never did anything after 2003, after leaving Hendrick. Bill Elliott was the only guy that really won him races. I mean, the image of him winning the Brickyard 400 and Little Chase, going there and kissing the bricks. I mean, that's the main thing that came from that in 2003, and he figured out a way to basically let Bill Elliott go when he was still good for Candy Cane, who he hitched his wagon to, and that drove the team into the ground. Hendrick saw that happen once, and he said he's never going to let it happen again. It should have happened after 2005. It would have happened in most cases, but obviously the Fat Felon learned. The milk and cookies meeting happened, and 5 straight championships took place. In the end, he's won another championship. He won't win 7 this year. He may win 7 next year or some other year. I could care less. Chad Knaus is not leaving. I mean, Jimmy Johnson basically has a lifetime contract. He doesn't have the Jeff Gordon contract, but he basically has whatever the next step below is. Hendrick's not getting rid of a money train, and neither is Gordon. Both of them have made a shitload of money off of that MFer, and there's no reason why they're going to let him go.
All right. You can say
if they're going to let if Chad Knaus is going to move, he's just going to move within the team and maybe go with Chase, if anything.
Yeah, they're right. Congratulations to Eric McClure. He and his wife are expecting their 6th kid, and all I gotta say is, they can have my birth control pills, guys, because they need them more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised when I read that article about Eric McClure having another kid. It's like, well, that's kind of ironic considering you're retiring at the end of the year because of your bad accidents over the years, and you're having kids, you celebrate it. Yay! I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind people who have kids unless if they have it in moderation. But it's like after kids kind of start to they're going more than 6 when you get fucking break. Eric McClure, given what it's worth, it's sad that he went through all this traumatic bullshit with all those races at Talladega, and just having a shitty atmosphere. I guess it's cool that he has something else to go home to besides a house with no NASCAR trophies or anything of really an effort, except for the fact that he's the son of one of the biggest names in NASCAR. Kodak, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Hamilton, among others, throughout the 4 car. It's cool that Eric McClure is getting that kid that's just. Please stop after the 6th kid. It's gonna start to get like that TLC show with the 19 kids.
Oh yeah, they're airing a special episode tonight. I won't be watching it.
Fucking TLC. It's like, this is off topic from NASCAR, but I'm tired of TLC. They literally, Jesus Christ.
I mean, good for Eric McClure and his family. Hopefully, the baby will be healthy and will come along with no issues. I mean, Eric McClure and his family have went through a lot I mean, for all the stuff he's went through, he's a garbage driver. Let's not get carried away. The guy's terrible. He's more known for basically doing a wall slide skateboard style at New Hampshire in a Johnny Davis car and basically owning the Talladega backstretch wall. That's when you're known for hitting the wall. It's not a good career path. He's making the right decision mainly because he's mediocre, and it's probably for his own health as well because he has 6 kids. He needs to be there for his wife and family. Somebody like Jeff Green or somebody who has talent can get that hefty sponsorship and actually run decent starting next year. It shows that bringing a sponsor means more than the talent. See Danica, see Milk and Donuts, see any number of other drivers. But congratulations to them.
I just got. All right. Sorry about that. My other boss from camp just texted me. So, anywho, we're going to our favorite segment. Please, America, please stop. Yeah, I'm going to describe this for you. Before I play it, I'm going to give you a very horrible image. Fru Roloff is wearing eyeliner.
Oh, God.
But he doesn't wear eyeliner every week.
All right. And Emma looked absolutely horrible. Ugh. She had so much eye makeup on, it's not even funny.
Oh,
All
Christ.
right. Let me start playing.
God. Time to bleed out our ears. Here we go.
Oh, you can.
And you're not.
In driving terms, you're running on empty now, and that's what it was.
Oh, shot fired!
Len is back
You did
finally.
your best,
Thank
but
God.
it really wasn't good enough. All right, Julia.
In the theme of Halloween, that was kind of a nightmare, and I feel like you have to know. I mean, you felt you go off and everything, and I love you. I think that you really try your hardest every week, and we want to root for you, but it just.
All right, Bruno. I love a country fair and a roll in the hay. We all love that. The thing is, there wasn't any jive. That's the thing. It's supposed to be a jive. And there was hardly any. I think you've broken the records, actually, of being off time. You got to be on time. You have to be on time all the time.
Is this sounding fair so far?
I heard that a lot from my parents. I was late a lot.
I got it now. I understand.
Unfortunate. Yeah, Carrie Ann.
And this is what we love about your incredible attitude. But like Antonio, I want you to do better. But this was a great freestyle. It was supposed to be a jive. So that's the sad part.
All right, you guys hang with me. We're going to see what those comments mean in scores when we come back.
And welcome back.
Good.
I don't know what's
Why
happening
did they
behind
allow
me, Tommy. Before the break, we saw Michael and Emma dance a jive and some scary, scary comments in light of Halloween. Let's think about that. I saw you guys having a nice moment up here during the commercial break. What were you talking about?
She's the best teacher ever. I just love her spirit. She told me that this thing was going to be fast and I needed to go, and I got carried
Yeah,
away.
you need to go. You need to go home.
35th anniversary of Charlie Daniels' great song that went down to Georgia. I was 2 when it came out, and I just had a lot of energy tonight. And I wanted to dance so well for her. I'm so happy being here, and darn it, Aaron.
Darn it, Aaron. I'm such a fruitcake.
Carrie Ann Inaba.
5.
Lynn Goodman. 5. Julianne Huff.
5.
Bruno Tomioli. 5.
Yep, you're like
20
zeros
for
and
you,
twos or
Michael
something.
and Emma. We saw you get
What the hell
emotional
is
on that
scoring
package. How are
20
you
out
holding
of
up now?
Well, you know what? In light
middle
of
of the
the fives,
show
I
and
don't
it's so
think that I
honest.
could be in a better place. I love this man, and we've had the best time dancing together. I really, really wish that it and hope it can continue. And I just got to say, Mike, I'm so proud of you. I really am.
Well, it's going to continue tonight because we have your team freestyle. You guys are going to go get
I
changed
couldn't
for
find the
that, and
freestyle video,
that will
so.
be added on
Oh,
videos.
thank
And if you
God.
want them to make it, you have to vote for them tonight. Tom?
I have nothing to say.
Andrews, geez.
That was fucking trash. Oh my god. Just like I love all those comments. It's like, as a driver, you're running on empty. I lost my shit after that because it's so fucking.
That's the one thing we've been missing. That's the one thing we've been missing. Len's the best. If he doesn't miss any punches, and he actually knows what dancing is, and he knows that basically what Michael Waltrip is a guy who has every birth defect, mental defect, and just general, that Owen Earl that comes from, that family and that general area. I mean, holy crap, like, seriously, somebody mow that homo down on Rodeo Drive when he's going and shopping for his high heel shoes. Somebody take their Ferrari and just do a sacrifice. They have enough money to it's all good. Just do it. Just do us all a favor, please. And please, Emma Slater, look, if you want to teach somebody how to dance, I will be your partner. I have nothing to lose. I have more to give and less to go with than freaking MW55. I have no shame. I'm broke. It doesn't matter. If I get eliminated week one, I still got to dance with a hot bitch for like 3 weeks. Hey, at the end of the day, it's better than what I'm doing right now, other than being on the show. I mean, really. So please, come on. Let's get camping going. Let's go and get one of us, either Adam or I, on freaking Dancing with the Stars. Let's get the real promotion out so we can be at all these races. We can get Ricky Craven to go and help us out.
She's
terrible.
When Brian Vickers won his pole, she took a picture with him and Fruit Roll-Up.
Yeah, I saw that on MWR's Instagram, and I'm like, oh, cool, Vickers won the pole. But then look, there's Fruitcake and his quote-unquote partner on Dancing with the Morons. Just this whole fucking insurance shit having to deal with this whole MW55 shit. And it's like, you're embarrassing not only yourself, but the entire NASCAR community. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Do you really think this is what your parents would want you to do, to dance like a fucking retard, like Dancing with the Stars, and then dress like a complete... I don't know how to say what he dresses like good Christ. I mean, I've seen the outfits he's worn on all the shows that he's been on. It's like, one week after another, he just finds some way to embarrass himself, and just like, why? Like, dude, if you're gay, just come out of the closet. I don't have to.
Some woman on one of the NASCAR group pages had to argue with me about how I was really disrespectful talking shit about fruitcake.
Oh, whatever. They're just MW55 pole riders. I mean, they just don't understand how bad he really is as a driver and as just a person in general. I mean, just look at what he had to do in his whole entire NASCAR career of all he had to do to win. It took him 462 races. It took him 15 years to win a Winston Cup race. And then, of course, it was on the most tragic day of NASCAR when Senior died, and he drove for Senior that day. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was tragic as shit. But since then, what has he been doing? He's just been wearing his name out and Senior's name out to get famous, and then made Napa basically go away from the custody because of Richmond Gate last year. It's like, why are you so proud of yourself? You do realize you only won those 6 off the first because you had help. One was from your teammate, the other was the rain. If it wasn't anybody else, you wouldn't have won that race, either race. You probably wouldn't have won any race had it been anybody else. Talladega, you got lucky at Talladega, your last win, okay, we get it. But then look at what you done. You just careened down. You own your own team, and you just have any help from Rob Kaufman, your team would have gone down in flames. And just embarrassing to see that he just so hell-bent on, not only embarrassing himself, but NASCAR fans. And I'm, like, all these fucking statuses I read from my friends who are voting for Michael Waltrip. I'm like, the only fucking reason they're voting for MW55 is because he's a NASCAR driver. That doesn't change the fact that he fucking sucks on both categories. His brother, Darrell won 84 races, 3 championships, go for Junior Johnson, go for Red Hendrick. At least Darrell gave it a try. At least he did something. Yeah, albeit Daryl's a dumbass and he do say a lot of stupid shit, but at least he tried. Michael, what's the best he can offer? Boy, won 2 Daytona 500. Yeah, but you do realize he got lucky on both counts, right? And Fletcher, other 2 wins at Daytona and at Talladega, both Daytona wins, all 3. You realize that was just basically luck, right? That had nothing to do with talent. And, you know, all these statuses I read from, oh, OMG, Mikey and Emma survived, hashtag yay, hashtag what? The fuck are you on? No, I'm not happy that Monster made it on. That just gives us more reason to just blow our brains out from the fact that it's just embarrassing to see. Like, I don't even have to watch the video. From what I hear on the show every week when Walter does survive, it's just giving me an image like, I don't like this. It makes me uncomfortable. I need an adult. Like seriously, it's just like why is he just continuing? He doesn't care. You know what the thing is that I'm really just dumbfounded is that he doesn't care that he's embarrassing himself. He knows that he's making a complete twat of himself, but he doesn't care. He's like, as long as I get money and my name is in paper when I'm not a NASCAR or Fox calling truck races or being in a Hollywood hotel with Chris Meyer's hairpiece and Jeff Hammond's eyebrows, I'm good. like Jesus Christ. You know, I'm tired of just all this bullshit about, I'm so happy Michael and Emma survived. I'm so not happy that they survived. I just want this bullshit to be over because I'm just beyond tired of hearing, okay, well, me and Emma are going to do this dance. I'm going to completely destroy myself and the Walter family by making myself like a complete fruitcake. Like, just, for the love of fucking science, I hope that next week he just gets canned and then everyone just laughs at him. I just want that to happen.
Let me say this. Antonio is a complete douche, but at least he was a better dancer.
Yeah, I mean, Antonio Sabato Jr. has been generally irrelevant for decades, but he actually can dance, and it eliminated, what's her name, Cheryl Burke, one of the sexiest women I've ever seen. I mean, even though she's gotten way too thin for my taste in the last few years.
I thought I was the sexiest woman on earth.
Okay, I'm
kidding.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get back, I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm just gonna get back to what I was trying to say there, because I got distracted. Anyway, it's like, look, I hate Michael Waltrip. This is long before I started this show. He is one of the biggest scrubs the earth has ever seen. If he didn't swallow Rob Kaufman's loads for like a couple of years, that team wouldn't exist. If it isn't for Rob Kaufman, you know, basically shoving it up his ass last year, they still wouldn't exist. I mean, those two motherfuckers, they tried to kill a couple of Audi drivers at Le Mans a few years ago. They parked that car because Rob Kaufman put Mike Rockefeller into the trees on the Mulsanne Straight at night. And I'm like, seriously, why are they allowed to drive? And it's the same thing. It's like the standards in NASCAR are just as lower than they are in Le Mans. And it goes to the greater point. Like, Michael Waltrip has never been a good driver. Driving at a plate, it proves the point that you don't need talent to do well in plate races. Pucomania proves that every time. I mean, I was surprised when I saw that stat that Junebug has got 23 wins. I'm like, where did all those wins come from? I remember 2004 when he won five races, 6 or 4. But than that, it's like, I can't believe the guy's actually won 23 races. I mean, yeah, he's won 4 races this year. Going back to the Michael Waltrip thing, it's like, oh my goodness. Like, he's an embarrassment to the world, let alone he's an embarrassment to society, human life, people in Kentucky, people in NASCAR, fans of NASCAR. I don't think she's ever going to be able to recover after dancing with that fruitcake, because honest to God, how can you go from the absolute worst dancer maybe ever on the show to actually dancing with somebody that might have a clue? Like, I think she danced with Alfonso earlier, and it's like, wow, she probably basically spread for him the minute that he actually went and did the dance moves properly. And then she stared at Michael and she's like, why? She basically wants to go and get a gun and shoot that guy too. She can't do it based on legalities. That guy's such a cum dumpster. It's unbelievable. I don't know who's a bigger cum dumpster, him or Pukamania. It's basically a toss between those two losers. It's just, I can't, seriously, can somebody just take a semi and run them over?
Alright, we are now going to, 1 second, because my computer's a piece of shit. The Kroger 200. Darrell Wallace won in the Wendell Scott car, which is good because I like Wallace and I also like Wendell Scott. Timothy Peters, Crafton, Jones, Blaney, Reddick, Sauter, Tiff, Gonente, and Kroger. And there was a bitch fight after the race between Sauter and Peters, and like I mentioned a couple episodes ago, why couldn't they use their words and not their hands?
Because that's just not how NASCAR works. You know, a lot of the people don't think they're, they don't think it through. They just like to start shit. I mean, it's just with every fight that we've seen in NASCAR, from the 79 Daytona fight between the Allison brothers and Cale Yarborough, to the big group fight between Stewart and Case Fisher in Chicago in 2004, to knocking years out at Richmond, to the bullshit over a couple weeks ago in Charlotte between Kenseth, Brad, and Hamlin. It just never ends. That, half the time we see them getting into altercations, we don't ever see them saying, hey, what's up, what the fuck? You don't ever see them talking about it. You just always see the crew getting involved and then put their hands on each other and shit. It's like, okay, after a while it gets kind of embarrassing, actually. And I'm a big Peters and Sauter fan. I've been a fan of Timothy Peters since he got into NASCAR. And same with Johnny Sauter, even when he was driving like shit in the Cup Series, driving for hot CNC for a few series. I mean, it's like I said, it's getting a little embarrassing how we see all these people fight with each other over bullshit reasons.
Short practicing at the end of the day, and Johnny Sauter has always had a short temper.
I guess I always slept in, and when I woke up, I read on my phone that Bubba won the truck race, and I'm like, fuck, I missed it, and I hate missing truck races where Kyle Busch doesn't win, or it's one of my favorite drivers that wins. But the point to the fact, Bubba's an awesome driver, he knows what he's doing. Not to mention, he rolled a one Scott themed truck to commemorate Wendell Scott. Ironically, 50 years after he won a Cup race at, I don't know where it was, but, when he won his first Cup race, 50 years later, like last year, Darrell Wallace Jr. won in March, which is awesome. That catapulted him from virtually unknown driver to a driver that's competing for the Camp World Truck Series Championship. Forget the fact that he's driving for one of the most whiniest, pussiest, ugliest people in NASCAR. He's an awesome driver. He deserved the win. Bubba knows. I kind of figured it would either be him, Eric Jones, or Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, one of those guys that would have won, or maybe, I was surprised that it didn't, happen sooner. Because Bubba, where he's won all these times, half of them have been little kind of short tracks. I mean, he's won a Gateway, he won at Eldora. The more he gets out there, the more better suited he gets when he goes to the Xfinity Series, whenever it's going to be for probably Don't Gibbs racing. I'm hearing that they'll be in a Gibbs car, probably part-time, which is surprising because I don't know why anybody can do shit. But good on Bubba. Glad that he won. Also glad that Sauter needs help. I made a prediction that next year that Timothy Peters could probably getting out there and actually competing for the championship with Matt Crafton. It's weird how Matt Crafton went from just a driver who would win here and there to a champion, and then everyone's talking about like he's going to be the next Jimmy Johnson of the Truck Series. Don't get me wrong, Matt Crafton's a good driver. He's not an asshole. He's from California. When you're from California, you have great race drivers that aren't dickheads. You got to support them. Jeff Gordon's one of them. Kevin Harvick, Casey Peters, Bobby Gordon, among others that I'm fans of. Good on them for finishing well. Really surprised that Crafton didn't do much. And I'm surprised he didn't win, because I would have expected if it wasn't going to be Bubba or Sauter, it would have been Crafton because he's one of their class leaders. So, like I said, good on Bubba. I think he might have a shot to win the championship if he finishes good at Texas and Phoenix and Homestead. I don't, to this point, I'm gonna be cool with whoever wins the championship. I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck, Sauter wins the championship, I'm done, or Matt Crafton wins the second in a row, I'm done. I'm cool with whoever wins the championship. It's just in Cup that I don't want Madonna winning the championship, and then the nationwide, I don't really want Ty to win the championship. I want us going to be considered a champion in NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, going on, I mean, Bubba was one of my favorite drivers, so I definitely enjoyed the race. And he was the fastest truck all weekend. A year ago, he won the race, he repeated. Well, Randall Scott Tribute truck, and me personally, having experience writing about diversity in motorsports as part of my thesis on graduating from college, I know about the story, and I wrote about both Wendell's biography. I mean, it was a well-written book. And then the trials and tribulations he went through in his life to make it to where he was. And now Bubba, to be able to carry the family name, out to the front again. That was such a cool-looking truck, and he did a job. He well-spoken, and for him to win, I mean, that's the only way he's really going to be in a position to win the championship, to win races, because Matt Crafton is ridiculously consistent. It's like Matt is those three consistent. And he's probably, I have a hard time believing, unless something crazy happens, that he's going to go and lose a championship. I think he repeats, which, considering the greats that have driven in this series, that he would be the first guy to repeat, it would be pretty insane. Peters had a good run. Of course, he got into Johnny Sauter. Johnny Sauter, at the end of the he likes to give, but he can't take. He goes and loses his mind after time. It's probably why RCR fired him. He's a good driver, but he's a pretty solid driver, but he's not an elite driver. That's why he's making his career. He's settled for being where he is. Eric Jones finished fourth there. Blaney only lost a couple of points after having a generally rough day. Tyler Reddick sixth, who's going to take over that truck next year. Bubba, they haven't announced yet. I'm hoping they actually pull it off where he's going to be driving full-time and nationwide. I don't understand what he accomplishes by running a third year in trucks, considering they have Suarez driving the 51. Eric Jones is probably going to be running full-time next year. So it all points to Darrell Wallace running full-time nationwide. Fact is, Blaney is probably going to nationwide full-time as well. So it's the last licks for both of them and truck. But I figure the veteran Crafton's got him here. Credit to Matt Tick, the Ken Schrader's protege, running in a one-off ride, finishing eighth with a truck that's just like absolutely destroyed. Alex Gwinnett, the Canadian, finishing ninth. Quiroga almost took out Wallace and Johnny Sauter and ended up taking out himself. I tweeted about that. The fact that he got back to 10th was mainly because he had a good truck. It's just he's not that good.
Don't forget, Rex Townley ran into Brandon Jones.
Yeah, well, Two Truck Chalmy, he cut off Tyler Reddick and then got sent to the fence because he doesn't know how to drive. Brandon Jones was an innocent bystander in that one. Cole Custer hit everything but the lottery on Saturday and ended up finishing 29th. You look at some of these other guys, some of these other furniture movers. I think Brennan Newberry caused 2 or 3 cautions. Peyton Sellers had a good run going and had the whole entire truck knocked off. Like every corner was destroyed on that 35 truck, and he ended up finishing 17th. He was in the top 10. Ben Kennedy, of course, he's in Rookie of the Year. He's related to the family. He's related to the first family. That team's going to fold after this year, but he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Caleb Holman, props to him. He won the late model. He won the super late model championship, the Southeast. I forget what the past series championship, the super late models, and he drives the 75 Food Country USA truck. He finished 11th. Good run for him. And some of the young guns that we've heard about all year. But overall, Bubba winning is great. I'm a big fan of his. He likes white women, of course, so that's cool. He likes to keep it diversified. And, Timothy Peters making a late season run after dropping anchor in the summer. Captain, he does it 3 more times, he's going to be a 2-time champion. And the guy who's probably going to be the favorite to win the championship next year, Eric Jones and Ryan Lee.
Okay, we're going to Texas next week. For sprint, I'm going to have to go with either Gordon or Stewart, but for the Camping World and Nationwide, spoiler, Kyle Busch wins.
With the Texas races, it's going to be a bullshit fest. It's just going to be boring, no cautions, and if it is, it's going to be debris. It's just going to be another board fest like we've seen every year since Texas opened. We're going off of that. I'm going to, in the truck race, on Friday night or whenever the fuck it is, I'm gonna
Friday night. Halloween.
Okay. All right.
You expect to see Michael Walsh Fruitcake in some kind of gay costume.
Oh God, yeah. I don't even want to envision that. I'm gonna pick in the truck race. I'm gonna pick Ryan Blaney or Spears. Or Matt Crafton wins and solidifies his chances of winning the championship and basically locks up the championship because if Phoenix wins a few wrecks and has a shitty run home, then he's basically going to win the championship. As far as Nationwide goes, we all know it's going to be a Cup driver. There's no point denying that it's not. It'll be Kyle or Brad or whoever the fuck is going to run the 22 who's going to win, or Harvick if he's entered this week for JRM. If it's going to be a nationwide regular, which I highly fucking doubt, Chase Elliott comes out and sweeps Texas and has a chance to beat Racing Smith. They will come out of the woodwork like Racing Smith. Maybe has a chance to get back and fight Chase for that championship. Or we could have someone like Brendan Bond come out of there and get a surprise win like he did in Kentucky. I don't know. But definitely will be a Cup driver that'll win that race. There's no guarantee. But in the Cup race, I'm going to pick Brad, Hamlin, or Kenseth because either 1, 2, 3 of those guys have to win to get into the championship. I mean, Brad, as much as he has 6 wins this year and has done incredibly well, if he runs like shit and doesn't win and being short Texas, he's basically locking in the championship. Hamlin hasn't won Talladega. Of course, Talladega was a lucky one. It doesn't really take much talent to win Talladega. All you gotta do is just push and win. That's basically it. Kenseth surprisingly hasn't won at all this year. Ran decently with the Martin. And he ran good Texas last year until Fitzpatrick took over, basically won the race and won the championship at that same day.
Great,
one of the drivers that
likely.
And for an honorable mention, I guess, I'll have to pick Harvick because, Harvick hasn't won at Texas, but he has, like, a little bit of a chance to. He might be one of the drivers that could come out there, surprise everybody, and get into the Final Four, but I highly doubt it.
Okay, so for the truck race, more than likely it'll be Rowdy. I would like to see one of the guys running for the championship win, specifically either Blaney or Bubba, but I figure it'll be a Kyle Busch benefit. In terms of the nationwide, I think that Brendan Gaughan pick is pretty sound because this is probably his best track, and he won at Kentucky earlier in the year. I would think if a nationwide driver is going to win, though, it would be Chase. However, I am going to pick Young Money in just over Logano, just slightly over Logano, who's driving the 22 car this week. I'm going to pick Young Money to win the name on Saturday evening or afternoon, however they're running it. And then on Sunday, as I said earlier in the show, Brad's going to win. He needs it. It's a must-win situation. Honorable mentions go to Young Money to possibly win his first Cup race, finally, or Smoke, who won the pole in April for the race. So I figure Brad wins on Sunday.
Okay, there is no. I forgot to post a question. I posted a question, but late yesterday because I was like really busy with stuff. So, Nate left a few questions on the post where I posted Michael Fruitcake dressed up as a cowboy. So let me just find it.
Let's go and put out a disclaimer here. He hit me up and he said, "I think God." So we can probably limit the usage of some of those questions for the sake of.
Okay, that's not. I'm gonna. No. This one I want to ask this: Who would like to see Dairy Queen as a sponsor next year?
I would. Tony would. That was his personal sponsor. His first personal sponsor was the local Dairy Queen in Columbus.
Okay, that's a good question. Could Justin Allgaier come from behind where he usually is and make a bid for the 2016 championship? Hell no.
No, I mean, I will give props to H. Scott Motorsports. They have been getting progressively better in the coming weeks. I mean, I've seen Justin Allgaier. He used to be running back in the 30s. Now he's running in the mid-20s to late 10s, like 15s on that. And that's good to see him doing well. But no, I mean, it's like when, he won the Arctic, and he only won the Arctic title in 2008, and, came in here and, he did, never mind. Well, it's like when he won the Arctic title, and everybody was expecting him to do the same in NASCAR, but we just got our hopes a little too high. But I have total respect for Justin Allgaier. He's a good guy. He knows how to drive. It's just that he's been getting the shit end of the stick, getting canned from Turner Scott Motorsports in the Nationwide Series to come into what was known as Phoenix Racing. The only that was it. He replaces Jimmy Johnson in the 48, and Hendrick buys all of his wins, and then that's the only way he's going to win the championship.
I mean, I respect Little Gator. He's a really good driver. To beat Richard and Scott Speed with his own equipment, with his dad as his owner and whatever, back in 2008 was really big. Roger Penske hired him, and as I've said previously, and in general when I say in other videos, when Roger Penske picks you, you know you're legit, for the exception of David Stremme. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to go and say, is he ever going to win a title? He's not going to win a Cup championship, but he can be a contender. And if he goes to the right team, aka Stewart Haas Racing. He could actually win races regularly, but they need to get rid of some crap, a la Mania, and go and put somebody who can drive. He's a good family man, got a daughter. He's really good. He is a hard charger. He's kind of in the AJ Allmendinger mold. But will he ever win a championship? He's not going to win a cup championship, but he should have won a nationwide championship. If they had the rules at Burnley, he probably would have.
Okay, no, Nate, I will not sponsor yours and Phil's late model cars. Sorry. I just don't own the company, nor do I have like millions of dollars.
You don't need millions of dollars to sponsor a late model. You just need a few dollars just to get to the track and take care of tires and gas.
I get paid $10.37 an hour, and I haven't gotten a raise in like 4 years because my shitty job was filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and because of the modification in the union contract, they got rid of them. So, sorry.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. Will Denny Hamlin be caught? I'm not going to answer. I'm not even going to even read that. Sorry, no. Well, no, this is good. Will Mike Hilton be found in his cross-dresser's outfit in New York City? Yes.
Probably. I mean, Mike Hilton's a fucking joke to the sport. I mean, he hasn't done anything but destroy the sport. And he'll get his hand in the cookie jar one of these days. Someone will catch him, and then the whole Nazi era of BZF and Boss Hogg will end for sure. But yeah, that'd be funny to see.
Will Robin Pemberton finally admit to his 3 dozen homosexual relationship with NASCAR officials? Never.
No.
But be funny though.
It's probably true when you look at that Nikki Griffin looking at that.
Okay. Well, this is a short episode today. I'm shocked, but anywho, proud members of the geeksoftheindustry.com. There are 9 shows for your listening pleasure. Geeks of the Industry, Geeks on Films, Sleeve Notes, Mega Powers Radio, Wrestling with Smut, Pro Wrestling Nation, Car Glitch International, Chatastrophe, and our show NASCAST. My Geeks of the Industry does Spreadshirt.com for shirts if you like to wear the NASCAST shirt to a NASCAR event. Facebook.com/groups/NASCAST500 is our group page. If you like to go to the main page, Facebook.com/groups/G of the I. We have a Twitter, NASCAST500, or if you like to follow us, my Twitter is at Elizabeth Moxley. Just to let you guys know, it's not safe for work. Guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook basically every day, and the stuff you hear on NASCAST 500 what I say is kind of the same what I post on Facebook. I post a lot of stupid shit, though. But, if you do want to get on the action...
Hello? Guys?
Want me to kick in?
Where was I? I'm on Twitter, @Desert Bandit. I don't get on much. Only to get on to see if I have any followers and if they're real and not spam followers. And to piss off butthurt fans from NASCAST 500 who like Jimmy Johnson, like Phil Bartley. I have about 86 followers. So if you want to follow me, I'm @Desert Bandit. I'm also on YouTube. I post a lot of 80s shit. Haven't posted in a while because I've been busy with other shit. But if you want to take a look at my page and see what I have, www.youtube.com/user/SunnyFornet1988, and that's about it.
For me, I'm on Facebook. At facebook.com/PhilipGMatthew. My Twitter is the same, @PhilipGMatthew. Looking for more followers, of course. I have to be on there more often. I usually post, retweet interesting stuff about racing and just funny stuff, but then also I put my 2 cents in on sports and motorsports, and so it's a good follow, I think. But I'm biased. Otherwise, I'm just looking forward to the get a great show here.
Okay, with that being said, for my good friends Adam and Phil, I am Elizabeth. You guys have a nice day now.
One morning in June, some 20 years ago, I was born a rich man's son. I had everything that money could buy, but freedom I had none.